And the old saying, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. No, there's nothing to fear but you, yourself, your ability to take over and talk, be willing to speak, or you don't even have to just walk with people that need your support. That's all you got to do. So Bob Martin's my name, Victoria, British Columbia. Lived there for over 50 years. Now, eventually, by the time I was just starting my 50s, into 50, I decided, what can I do? And I'm a sporty person all my life and enjoyed sports and was always fit, and said, I'm going to be a personal trainer. Had never taught anybody prior to that. Got the job in the Royal Commonwealth Pool as their head fitness instructor, and did wonders for a year there. Eventually, at 62 years of age, the doctor that I had used for a while had said, Bob, you're now mixing with a lot of seniors and young children in your fitness field. I think it would be wise for you to take the flu shot. You know, the flu vaccine, a lot of people are at your age, to prevent it happening or you spreading something. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that? He was so nice, and he was such a kind, gentle person that I didn't have any shots in my life. I had the smallpox shot and thought, well, maybe he's right. I didn't even think that much. It sounded so logical. Anyway, I had taken 9 of those, and then the H1N1 vaccine in 2010. On October the 20th, the doctor I had used for a new doctor had come from Alberta, and he was going to administer this vaccine. And it was an odd thing that happened during that time. I went into the office. The nurse had brought a vaccine in. It stands out in my mind, and had laid it on the table. And he came in to administer it, and I remember him going to it and saying, oh, this is the wrong one. And he left the room. I didn't think of anything of it at the time, but I remember that precisely because unfortunately I don't miss much of anything. He gave me that shot, and within hours, I was feeling uncomfortable, and my legs started to feel bad. And I complained for the next 2 or 3 days, and I went to my daughter's, and she has quite steeps going down into her basement. And even she remarked, I said to her, God, those stairs are steep, as I started to step. So unbeknown to me, there was something happening bad. And within 8 days, 9 days, I was in the hospital. They were doing a spinal tap, and so fortunate for me, I'm getting a student to help the doctor. You never want the spinal tap from a student being instructed how to do it. It's very painful. Oh, it's painful. Anyway, I laid there, accepted it, went on with it. The doctor went through, they came back to my wife who was there with me, and they said, has anyone in his family ever had Lou Gehrig's disease? And I, in my mind, when I heard that, I says, to hell with Lou Gehrig, I'm out of here. I'm dying. They eventually, very few ever live that long, and they suffer as the muscles are contaminated and they lose all their breathing ability and movement and function. So you'll know it by a different name, and I'm trying to bring it to memory now, but you'll know
ALS.
ALS, that's right, Lou, you got it. Lou Gehrig's disease. So anyway, she says, not that I know of, and I nodded, and they went back and came back, checked the protein again that they had found, and they said, oh, we've come up with it. It's GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is of the killing off of the nerves in a sense, because they will regrow, or some will regrow, or none will regrow. It just depends. You know, you can be an invalid for your whole life. Yes, so everybody's different. The whole body is shut down. The peripheral nerves are burnt like a regular electrical cord. The outer cord is burnt off, and you can't get signals through. You know, it's just like those things that they're firing, but nothing's happening, and so it's all burnt off, and you can't move. You are a quadriplegic. You're paralyzed. Only my eyes could move from all of this. You're usually going to be in a wheelchair with them, or an invalid in bed, not able to move, or nothing at all. You could recover 90%, or I think about 15%. This is their statistics. About 15%, or 10 or 15 will die, and the rest will survive in some manner or other. So I survived 8 months in the hospital, 3.5 in the ICU, on being kept alive, let's say, and not able to talk or respond to anyone for verbally for 3.5 months. So after that, I went through a neuro ward and a rehab ward, and I was there for another 4 months. And during that period of time, I did quite well. I was able to almost walk out without a cane in that time, and to go home into a bed with a little potty beside the bed in the living room. And I was there for probably a year to a year and a half. And I would work out every day at the gym, and I started with 2 pounds of weights 100 times. Bicep curls, 2 pounds 100 times. 100 times, everything 100 times. And I'm pretty good now, but I have lots of things that I don't even think about. They're there. I don't expect they will take my life, that I should go on and have a fairly normal Guillain-Barré after effect injured life. And you have to accept it. The electrical shocks every day, the toes electrical, the lack of balance, the other things that happen. But I'm fit and healthy and mentally happy, and I'm going to fight for my cause, create a vaccine compensation program for every Canadian. 18 G20 countries in the world have it. Very few of them are of great value, and in Canada, we must make it the best program ever for anywhere in the world, so that everybody that deserves to see their day and justice work for them work.
Be who you want to be in freedom.